Boom! What's going on, everyone? It's Steve Larsen. This is Sales Funnel Radio, and today we're going to talk about student stereotypes.
I've spent the last 4 years learning from the most brilliant marketers today. And now I've left my 9 to 5 to take the plunge and build my $1 million business. The real question is, how will I do it without VC funding or debt, completely from scratch? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share marketing strategies to grow my online business using only today's best internet sales funnels. My name is Steve Larsen, and welcome to Sales Funnel Radio.
What's up, guys? Hey, I've been excited for today. So I want to talk about a topic. It's every evening, my wife and I usually like to just sit and talk, and we'll sit and we'll talk. And most of our dating, honestly, was talking. We would just talk for like 3 hours a night, every night, or all of our dating, and that was kind of it. And so anyways, we'll sit down and we'll just talk and we'll share with each other. Anyway, we're good at that part of our relationship, which is a bunch of fun. So anyway, we were sitting down the other day, and we got a little almost 3-month-old baby now, and we're playing with her, we're talking back and forth, and she says, hey, what are like the biggest stereotypes you see in your students? I said, what do you mean? She says, like, what are the reasons that people do or do not go forward with the things that you're teaching them? Like, stereotypically, though. She's like, do baby boomers, right? Do they react differently to what you teach compared to, like, millennials? And I was like, yeah, actually, they really do. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to go through and share with you guys what I talked about with her, because it was, it's fascinating to see that. Number one, I freaking hate the millennial propaganda. Can we cut that crap out? All right, your parents, baby boomers, your parents complain about you too. All right, sounds good. Are we all good there? I'm just gonna get that off my chest. I hate that. Well, you're millennial, you can't focus. All right, you can't use tech, so back at you. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I just want to walk through this really quick and just share with you guys a few things that I've seen with stereotypically what I see with my students, okay? Now, this is my own students. It's students that I've had at 2 Comic Club Coaching. It's students back and forth. And my intent in sharing this, the only reason why I want to share something like this is so that you can hedge yourself to not be one of these stereotypes, one of these scenarios, okay? So everyone raise your right hand right now and be like, hey, Steven, say your name. State your name. Will not get offended. Okay, don't get offended about what I want to go through and share with you guys right now. I'm talking in massive generalities, okay? Because I've seen a lot of things across the board, and then I also want to, at the end of this episode, I want to share with you guys what I do to combat these stereotypes myself. I have my own routines, and some of my routines I didn't realize were my routines. You understand? I didn't know that I was literally creating my own solutions around some of these things, but I did, and it's been working, and it's really awesome. And actually, a lot of you guys, if you follow my Instagram, you already know what some of them are. But anyway, so millennials, okay? What I find, okay, first of all, let's just set the stage here, okay? There has never been a time in the history of the entire world where so much information and so many answers are prevalent and ready and accessible and here, with such a cross in lack of discipline. Mind-boggling, okay? There's so many answers out there. There's so many things out there that are already solved for you, yet people don't know how to go and just look up stuff on their own and Google and YouTube and just learn something for 30 minutes. We're not a culture yet of self-teaching, okay? And that's why those who can self-teach just blow up so much, okay? So number one, I just want to go through that. Okay, number one, we've never been in a time period where so much information is available, but there's such a lack in discipline personally with people. There's lots of addiction out there now. There's lots of, and not to say that wasn't there before, but I mean, we live in a very stimulated society now. We live in a very stimulated community now, right? Right. There's such a lack in discipline, daily routines. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, okay? But I try to have one. I try and live with intent day by day by day, okay? There's such a lack in discipline. There's such a lack in just getting up and getting crap done, regardless of how you feel about it, okay? There's such a lack in people knowing, like, look, in order for me to get where I'm trying to go, there's work involved. Right? We get sold on this concept. Oh yeah, I should get that. I deserve it. Man, that is bull crap. No one owes me anything, and I try and live like that, okay? I hate when people say, here, get this product, you deserve it. Like, it makes me want to throw up and not buy their product, no matter how good it is. When somebody says you deserve it, that's garbage. It is a lie, and it is a lie of this generation. It is a lie of our communities now, in my opinion, which I believe is correct, okay? No one owes you anything. You don't deserve anything. And when I look at worlds that way and I look at my life that way, the reason why I try and do that is because if I think that my customer owes me money, I deserve this success. That is freaking garbage. Okay, try and do that. Try and leave it. Try and do that, and try and tell me how long you're in business. Okay, that's not true. Nobody owes me anything. Okay, no one owes me a dime. No one owes me any kind of credit. No one owes me. I will tell you that you will relieve a lot of mental stress in your life. All right, and I'm stereotypically talking to the millennials right now when I say that, because I am one. Okay, and I had to have a huge wake up call with myself and say, look, no one owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Okay, I am not deserving of anything. I need to work my tail off. I am not, right? Now, I'm going to walk around and I'm going to try and work my face off. It's kind of like what Will Smith says. He walked around and he walked around like he was deserving for what this life had to offer. But he was not a ghost to knowing that he had to work for it, okay? And I'm the exact same, guys. Like, man, I'm going to run hard. I'm going to run as hard as I can. I'm going to try and do everything I can. I'm going to try and live the best life I possibly can with the fullest, having the best of the best, being the best of the best. And that's my mentality, okay? And like, you got to fight to do that, right? So nobody owes me anything. And when you think about that with like, hey, there's so much information out there, it's such a lack in discipline on how to use it all. Just follow me a little bit, okay? I'm going to start spinning a few ideas around and we'll bring them all full circle, all right? Okay? When I look at how undisciplined as a society we really are, man, guys, we all freaking go, I'm not saying all of us, but man, if you're spending all your time watching Netflix in the evening and you don't have something up and running, like, shame on you, right? Work at it, right? And then complaining about it. I'm not saying I don't take breaks, okay? This is funny, okay? What does Tim Ferriss teach in the 4-hour work week? Holy crap, he works 4 hours a week. He didn't start that way, but he ends that way, where he works 4 hours a week on his business. That's cool. Okay, now let's contrast that with what Gary Vee talks about. Hustle till your face falls off. Hustle till you die, right? And that's like totally his message. There's two conflicting messages, right? I believe the answer is in between. Personally, that's how I run it. Okay, where I'm like, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to build that funnel and that funnel. I have massive projects on my plate right now. Absolutely gigantic. I am the sole funnel builder, and that's totally fine. I'm completely cool with that. There's a huge, a vast, a ridiculous amount of hustle in my life right now. And I expect it and I welcome it and I smile and I'm like, what's up, son? Bring it on. Come on, get you some, right? This is my time. You're in my turf and I'm going to tear you apart, okay? And I'm going to hustle. But not till I die. I'm not here to just work, right? I'm here to work. I believe humans were built, especially men were built to work hard at things, have resistance. That's good. That's healthy. I want that, okay? But I don't go ahead. And again, follow me. There's a reason why I'm talking about all this. We're going to go full circle here in a second, okay? There's a reason why, though, I know I am where I am. I really wanted it, right? That was it. And understanding, oh my gosh, all the answers are already there. And if I just have discipline to go find them and apply them, I can literally just get what I want. I can create what I want. It's there. Right? So much. That's why I talk about being a self-solver all the time, guys. You got to be a self-solver. Solve your own problems, right? If your natural inclination when a new problem comes up, which is every freaking minute of entrepreneurship, a new problem pops up that wasn't there before, one that you weren't planning on, the one that wasn't in your plan or your scope on how to get crap done, right? If you don't know how to act, anyway, you're not gonna go very far, okay? Every day is practicing going over and solving new problems, okay? So the trick is learning to solve problems with speed. Okay, learning to solve the problem adequately enough so that it's satiated enough, right? Not that you got to answer it 100%. Not that it has to be 1,000% perfectionist brilliant, because I went there too for a while also. I'm a recovering perfectionist 100%, okay? I had to get good at being totally fine with answering and being awesome at it 80%, and then just moving on, okay? Go. Solve the problem, move. Solve the problem, move. New problem, bam. Solve the problem, move. New problem, bam. Solve the problem, move, right? Don't know it, fine. YouTube, sweet. That guy taught me. Solve the problem, move, right? And that's how I run. That's literally why I blow. I know that's why I blow up. Okay, that's exactly the reason why. Okay, so when you think about that, think about right. So again, I'm just kind of like laying out the landscape here. Okay, so you've got millennials on this side who have vast amounts of information with the fingertip training in order to pull it off, right? You know how to text and tweet and do all the things, right? You know how to do it. You understand tech. You understand the platforms, okay? Right? Okay, you got millennials on that side. Lots of info, stereotypically, bit of lack in discipline. Not always. I hate it when people try and categorize me, so I get it, okay? I freaking hate that, okay? So I get it. I'm being sensitive because I don't want to say anything like that because I hate that myself. On the other side, you got like the baby boomers, right? Let's say 50 years old plus, okay? Baby boomers did not have that kind of information always at their fingertips, but typically, as culturally, stereotypically, we're really intense workers, knew how to sacrifice, right? The generational upbringing. Oh my gosh, check this out. I'm just letting you guys know, right? 1,800 people I've brought through this process now. I see a lot of patterns, and I have people from all over the world, all different races, religions, right? Male, female, ages, all over the place. Okay, and I'm just painting the picture here, and I want you to know, like, oh my gosh, this is where I am. Let me make sure I don't fall prey to these lies. Or I'm over here. Let me make sure I don't fall prey to these lies. Okay, so again, millennials, lots of info, typically a little bit less discipline. Baby boomers, okay, they haven't known how to use a lot of these tools, but usually have a lot of discipline, but they also a lot of times operate from a scarcity standpoint, I've noticed, meaning like a fearful standpoint. Okay, and the only reason why I've noticed that is because they think that businesses still require a briefcase and a suit and a meeting to start the day. You know what I mean? There's a notion of what it means to be, and man, it's not like that anymore. I don't ever wear a shirt and tie except to church. You know what I mean? I don't wear shoes. In fact, when I go and I consult for people, they're like, what other specifications do you have? And I'm like, first class if you want to. If you don't want to, I'm totally cool with that. To be completely honest, right now anyway. It's like, I just don't care. I try and listen to music as much as I possibly can and wear shoes as little as I can, right? And that's kind of like business culture has changed, you know what I mean? So I find that there's a lot of professionalism that's unnecessary in the baby boomer expectations, okay? On the right in the middle range, right? I'm 30. I'm barely a millennial. Okay, I'm barely a millennial. I'm 30. From the 30 to the 50, I find that stereotypically has been the category of person who takes the most action, knows how to use the tools, are not the complainers, and are fine when the market punches them. Okay, so when I'm that's kind of like the sweet spot is what I've kind of noticed. When I get somebody who's a millennial, I'm cool with that. I just also know they're going to be a little bit sensitive. Okay, right? There's not typically been like this mental toughness, right? There's been this social. There's been this because of social media. There's been this stereotype that's set across the mindset where they look at everything that's going to happen to them, and it's cool. They're dreamers. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm a dreamer. I love that. Why would you ever try and change that, right? I can tell especially my firstborn, she's a dreamer. She's 100% entrepreneur. I can already tell. Like, she's a problem solver. She solves problems like crazy. And I didn't teach her a lot of the things she's doing. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, you're really smart, kid. And you know how to solve problems. Like, oh, geez. Okay. And she already takes she can turn 5 soon. She already has interest in the stuff I'm doing. Anyway, crazy. Okay. I love their millennials are dreamers. They get out there. They understand possibilities. And because of that, they have very little walls, right? But emotionally, there's a lot of walls because there hasn't been as much time put on the mat for person-to-person communication. There's not as much time put on the mat for how to deal with pitfalls in life, okay? And part of that just has to do with the fact that they're usually so young, right? They just haven't gone through that much. The 30s to the 40s range, right? Actually, it's contrast. Go to the other side, right? Baby boomers, I've noticed, they have a lot of barriers usually to take off and do. And it's not just because of a tech standpoint. It's because there's a barrier of believing that there's this professionalism that they need to fit into in order to be an entrepreneur, right? And which is I don't know. Again, speaking in massive general terms, okay? So I think each generation has had these massive gifts with also these massive hindrances, like any generation. It's not the freaking millennials' fault. The next generation's gonna have some weird derogatory term for them also, with a whole bunch of things we're gonna complain about them also, right? It's the way it is, right? That's just how it goes, right? Let's get over this whole freaking millennial propaganda. Anyway. Right? So the key is to see and be sensitive to where you are culturally. How was this generation raised? Wow, were we all supposed to be given trophies? There's some serious freaking baggage that comes with that kind of culture, right? Or do we believe that we still need to be in suits and ties and tech is hard to learn, right? There's some baggage that comes with that, right? So those have been the things I've noticed as I coach people that it comes down to. Okay, so I want you to understand something with this, and this is the reason why I wanted to walk through this with you guys. Okay, so is this making sense? Let's go full circle. See where you fit. right? I'm trying to help you learn how to self-identify. There was a stage I was speaking on, and I said that my goal here today is to teach you how to do to yourself what you are doing to your customers. Meaning, I want you to understand your customers' false beliefs. I want you to understand your customers' hiccups. I want you to understand your customers, right? What are the things they're still struggling with? But I want you to learn how to, this is what I told them on stage. I want you to learn how to self-identify those things in you. It will speed you up. Your business grows to the extent that you do. Okay? Which is true. I don't know who said that. But anyway, it's a cool phrase though, right? Your business grows to the extent that you do. So I told him, I want to teach you how to become introspective enough to see like, oh my gosh, I got this mental belief that is wrong, right? I remember, you guys all know my story. Like my story says, right, way back in the day, I was really shy. And go to come out, it wasn't so much that I was shy, as I just had no confidence. I had zero confidence, right? And some of it came with some of the generational upbringing that I came along with. It wasn't my parents' fault, wasn't my fault, wasn't anyone's fault. It's just the environment that I was in, right? So when I became self-conscious, when I became introspective enough over those things, then I could do something about it. That's what I'm trying to get across in this episode, okay? So the stereotypical go-getters that I see across from the millennial side all the way 30s and 40s, all the way to the baby boomers, okay, is this. They have learned to become introspective, identify what their own false beliefs are, and then the ones that matter, this is the key, okay? This is the key, right? They tackle the ones that matter. If you try to tackle every single one of your false beliefs, every one of your little character flaws, that is an amazing way to get depressed. Okay, what you gotta do is you gotta see, okay, what does it take to be successful in today's environment? What does it take? What does it take? What does it take? Oh my gosh, I gotta learn how to speak on camera. I gotta learn how to present. I gotta learn how to talk. I gotta learn how to sell. I gotta learn how to market, because they're not the same, right? I gotta learn how to create offers. I gotta learn maybe how to funnel build. Or maybe, right, what's my tactical skill? When I was leaving college, right, about 2 years before I left, I was getting a marketing degree, and I realized that I literally had no technical skill that I was learning. I was literally a dime a dozen. There was nothing different from me compared to everybody else, and that is one of the reasons why I chose funnels in college to learn a technical skill, like, right? So I gotta have a technical skill, gotta be able to speak, right? Whatever those things are, right? What does my personal character not let me do, right? The biggest one, the highest leverage one I can go tackle. Reach down inside of you, grab that and break it. Realize it's wrong. See the stories and the experiences and the beliefs that are upholding that false belief. What is, and reach out and break them. Rebuild yourself, make you, right? Build you, craft you, figure out the blueprint you want and remake yourself, okay? And when I started doing that, right, that's actually funny enough when I started making money, right? I was the biggest issue in the business. Not the fact that the marketing idea didn't work. Not the fact that the product didn't help people. I sucked at delivering it, right? That was mine. You got to figure out what yours is, okay? So anyways, does that make sense? This podcast episode might feel like it's all over the place. I'm trying to convey something here that I've seen over and over and over again, okay? 1,800 times, okay? I have done a lot of freaking Q&A. I have seen so many offers. Every Friday, the whole day for me is looking at people's offers, looking at people's funnels. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, for years, okay? I've seen a lot of them, okay? And funny enough, the pattern has always been that, you know what? Could the marketing be better that this guy has, this funnel has? Yeah, it could. Could the funnel be better? Yeah, it could. But most of the time, what I have found is that the battle is actually mental, okay? The battle is mental. All the answers, and people are starting to get it. The answers are in freaking YouTube already, okay? If you're just learning, if you just listen to podcasts, if you're just studying, if you learn how to learn on your own, if you learn how to study, if you learn how to solve your own problems and answer your own questions, okay, the answers are there, okay? Never has there been a time when there's so many tools that are already done and available. It's no longer a question of, well, is there a tool that does this? Is there a tool that does that? What about this? What about that, right? That's not the issue anymore, right? It's not. There's never been a time, the issue is not, is the marketing good? Where's the tool? Does that exist? It's not, for you to make vast amounts of cash, that's not the problem anymore. The problem is mental. And I fight with people's psyche way more than I ever thought that I would in my students, Okay, again, some of them are like total rock stars. But most people, understandably, they got a background and they don't understand that their market that they're trying to sell into requires them to be a little bit different. And they're not willing to make the personal adjustment and personal changes, right? Well, Stephen, how long is this going to take for me to go through? I already can tell you're losing. Stephen, how long is it going to take for me to go through your funnel builds? That's a losing mentality. You're already looking from a freaking scarcity standpoint when you ask stupid questions like that. All right, well, Stephen, how long is it going to take for me to be successful at this? Dumb question. That's a stupid question. Okay, how long is it going to take for me to be successful? Man, that means you're weighing the cost of you getting in the course and not looking at the clock against freaking Netflix that night. Okay, it's true. What I have learned, and if this hits home, I'm not trying to like offend anybody. I'm just being real and raw about this, okay? When I've coached this many students, the pattern has always been, could the marketing be better? Yes. Could the storytelling be better? Of course. It could always be better. Could the offer be better? Could the funnel? Yes. Yes. It's all that stuff, all the classic stuff that comes with running a company, all of it could be better. All of it could. It's the freaking mentality that has by far, without contest, been the thing that I've had to do the most coaching on. Which shocked me. I didn't expect that. As a coach myself, I didn't expect to have to do that for it's virtually every person. Okay? And I understand that there's a mentality that comes that you learn when you become an entrepreneur. You have to learn, and I get it. There's a mindset that comes with it. I get it. I understand that. And if it's new, awesome. Okay? But sometimes they don't even have the tools to take on the mindset. Right? They might be a little bit weak mentally, or they're really sensitive, or they got a trophy all the time. When am I going to win? Okay, second place gets no reward in business. Okay, learn to be the best. Learn to be the first. Dominate. I'm here to crush. Okay, because second place gets no financial reward. Okay, I'm here to crush, and that's a hard mentality for some people to learn. It's a exact flip opposite. It's hard mentality for people to learn, like baby boomers. Look, it's not about you being a professional. It's about being you louder in today's age. Just be you louder. Right? And that's hard for some people to drop the tie, get rid of the briefcase and be like, well, this is what I would say, how I would say it. Right? That's kind of hard for baby boomers to learn usually. Usually hard for the millennials, like I said, a little sensitive sometimes, okay? And I come from that category, so I'm speaking like one, you understand? I had to learn that. I was a mentally weak person, guys. I was not mentally tough. I didn't know how to handle anything that was negative in my life. I had to learn those things. That is literally one of the reasons I joined the Army. Okay? Seriously. All right? I didn't deploy. I didn't do any of that stuff. And which kind of sucks. But anyway, the biggest thing that I took from it was a mentality. I'm taking the hill. Get out of my way, right? And I took on those things, right? I know how to fight. I know when I need to. I know how to go to bat for myself. My resting state is nice guy. My resting state is, but when I need to, I very much have the tools to open the can when I need to and do what I need to with it. Okay. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to do. So let's go full circle with this, okay? This episode's been going for a little while here, and thank you so much for sticking with it, okay? I'm trying to help you self-identify, wait a second, where has my brain been sucking it up, right? My business could actually be totally fine, and I'm the weakest link. More often than not, I'm not joking, 80% of the time, that has been the issue, right? Not, let's look at the offer. Of course it could be better. Of course we could tweak it. Of course we could do all these things. It's been this mentality-based thing, right? Whether or not they've already had success or not, it's been more of that than anything else, shockingly, okay? So what I invite you to do, and I've been holding something here by my leg the whole time, okay? Because I want to share it with you guys. What I learned how to do, and one of the patterns that I started noticing when I was, around the ClickFunnels regime so much was I got to listen to Tony Robbins while he talked to Russell. Robert Kiyosaki. I did a lot of projects for Marcus Lemonis, okay? Huge guys, massive players. And this is a funny thing that I always notice from them, okay? A lot of the time, before they actually officially hit record on the interview, or a lot of times before they actually, it wasn't uncommon to see some of them, in the corner, yeah, kind of get jazzing up, getting the energy up, right? Because they get it, right? They understand they got to be an attractive character, right? And even if it's not their natural character, they learned the attractive character. That's what I did. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? And there was this routine that a lot of these guys I've noticed do to get themselves in that kind of state. Fighting state, winning state, right? If I do this, awesome. If I don't, my family's going to suffer for it, right? Whew. Like, man, when I start taking those things on, it's a lot, you know what I mean? There's things that I do to get myself in state now. And I want to share a few of those things with you guys because right, this is like, there's a really, really good talk I heard once. He was by this guy. He was talking about how when you start walking through a forest for the first time, it's hard, right? I can't remember his full name. His last name was Worthlin. Anyway, he was talking about how when you walk through a forest for the first time, it's hard because there's no path, there's no trail, okay? And it's part of the issue that comes with doing new things. People are in this unmarked path because there is no path. Their brains have never been in this area before, right? And they start walking down this path, and they're walking through this thick forest, and it's the first time they've been there, so there is no path. You understand? But the next day they walk that path again, and maybe they see that, like, hey, that stick broke a little bit. Hey, this tree right here, I can see the first time I passed through, that tree is kind of leaned to the side more so this time. And the more you walk the path actually becomes a real path, right? The ground gets hard, right? Grass stops growing right there, right? Maybe the rocks start falling off the side, and pretty soon, because you've walked the path so many times, you actually have a path, right? Didn't start as one. It only happened because you walked it that many times, okay? That's something I had to learn for myself, okay? I had to learn which characters sell online. I had to learn which characters were characters, the attractive character that actually made mass movements, okay? That actually helped industries and affected industries, okay? And when I saw the pattern over and over again, I realized that I was like, you know what? I could do that. And I walked the path the first time. And I launched Sales Funnel Radio. And that was the first real time I did that. And I was like, crap, this is hard, right? And there was no path. It was just me, and I was bushwhacking, you know what I mean? Like getting through all the foliage, all the rough, weeds and stuff like that, going through all the bushes. And it was challenging. It was very hard, okay? And as I learned it, though, it's become easier and easier and easier. Now I can just turn the camera on, okay? And now I can speak in front of a lot of people. And now I'm speaking at Funnel Hacking Live. What's up? And I'm super stoked, and it doesn't make me nervous, okay? It's 4,500 people. I'm really excited, okay? I'm not nervous. I'm actually super stoked, okay? I'm stoked to the core, okay? There are things, though, so what I want you to do is I want you to, first of all, identify the things that your generation is stereotypically pinned with, okay? You might have those, you might not. Maybe you've already addressed them. Number two, though, what I want you to do is I want you to understand, right, which attractive character you need to become for your market to actually follow you. Okay, where are you sucking it up on, and be totally fine walking that path the first time. That's just how it works, okay? Number three, though, here's the third and final thing here, okay? You gotta know what gets you in state, okay? Seven Nations Army, I have heard that song so many times. It's ridiculous, okay? Every time we were about to do something crazy, or there was some big event going on, or it was webinar day, or there's a big event going on, we play Seven Nations Army, okay? And there's a lot of people, some people would write to me, they'd be like, hey, dude, you sit next to Russell right now? I'd be like, yeah. He'd be like, are you listening to Seven Nations Army? I'd be like, yeah. They'd be like, are you singing that song? I'd be like, yeah, but that's not the point, right? The point is what it does for the head. Okay, so there's a few things that I do as far as state control goes. Okay, the state control that I do, exercising in the morning, hard. I don't just mean like going on a jog. I mean, it's got to be hard. Make it hard, coach. You know what I mean? Make me close to barf, make me close to throwing up. You know what I mean? Like, make it hard. And for me, that's where I'm practicing getting in my war state before I actually get to my desk where I'm at war. Okay. Next thing I do, every Monday morning I yell, right? And I go, woo, it's Monday, baby, right? It'd be cool to cut in a few of those here. But anyway, and I yell like crazy, and I'll even go down street corners and yell it in front of the 9 a.m. traffic, okay? No joke. I do that. I'm weird like that. I don't care. It's not for them. It's for me, okay? Why? Because it kind of freaks me out a little bit. My adrenaline spikes up like crazy, and it's awesome, right? Some of the things that I do is in the morning, a lot of it has to do with my morning routine. I've noticed that that's the lever. That when I turn that lever, that's the one that really sets the tone for the rest of the day. What's my morning routine? I'm not perfect at it, but I'm getting more perfect at it. That's helped me a lot, okay? I've been holding this thing by my leg the entire time. This guy, yeah, you like it? This guy is my mannequin, okay? I call him Poverty. His name's Poverty. And in the morning, I beat up poverty every single morning. That's my warm-up, okay? And I write down all the things that people have said about me and that are negative, okay? Because I'm not trying to run from my freaking fear. I'm trying to confront the fear and do it anyway. That's a different mentality, right? I'm trying to say, yeah, oh, I see you, fear, and I don't care, right? And this might be weird, guys, but it's what I do. I don't care. It's my thing. You make your own. Do it too if you want to. Okay? Shame, right? Poverty, People call me idiot, right? People just say, oh, you're past, you're not qualified, right? People might say I'm lazy, right? There might be, there's some stupid lady the other day who was like, you're totally a scam. I was like, I don't even know what that means. Please explain what you're talking about and go look at all the testimonials of people I've actually helped. I'm not a scam, right? Anyway, but lies, right? There's a whole bunch, lots of stuff, okay? You're too emotional. You're all over the place. Fear itself. You got haters, right? You're worthless, Steven. You're worthless. This is ridiculous. This is all crap that I've had people say to me, right? Right? Doubt, tons of doubt. I can't, ... Loser, okay? Pathetic, you're pathetic, right? I've had a lot of people say negative things to me about this. I don't freaking care. Instead, I confront it and I put on this thing and I beat them up every day, okay? Sorry, we had to cut it there real quick. Anyway, okay? But this is what I do, okay? You understand? My life in this game got so much easier when I learned how to, when I came up with a system to medicate all of the negative things that were going on in my head. If the game is mental, what are you doing to your head? Right? Do you have a process? Is there something in place for you? This is what I do, okay? This is literally one of them. And I will listen to crazy rage music, and I'll go, right? One of the first ones that ever made me feel bad was I was going to counseling, okay? And this guy was like, he's like, have you ever been tested for ADHD? And I was offended, which now I'm embarrassed that I was offended by that, okay? But I was offended. I was like, no. What are you talking about? I didn't want anyone to think that there was something wrong with me. I didn't want anyone to, there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. I was offended by it. I was mad, right? Stupid of me. But I was offended by it, right? And he goes, I'm going to send you home with some tests, and I need you to take these tests, and we're going to see if you have ADHD. And I was pissed off. And I went home, and I didn't want to take the test. I took the tests, and I went and I came back to the counselor, okay? And he said, you don't officially have ADHD, but you have a lot of symptoms of somebody who does, okay? And I flipped out because I was a perfectionist. I was like, I don't want anything to be wrong with me. I don't want someone to categorize me, right? Don't tell me I'm not perfect. Don't tell me, right? Which is stupid, first of all, okay? But that one rocked my world, okay? It wasn't until later when I found out, like, check that out, ADHD, right? I got it right across the top there. It wasn't later until I found out it's a freaking superpower, okay? That's the reason I can outwork 90% of the people out there, right? Thank you, right? Man, how many guys got that out there also? Awesome, cool. You know that most billionaires are dyslexic? Sweet, what's up, right? Let's all communicate together. Let's all hang out together, right? You know what I mean? Guys, whatever it is that's negative in your life, when I start talking about the mental and talk about the psyche, right? When I say, like, look, yes, that funnel could be better. Yes, it could be better. But most of the time, the thing that's holding somebody back is just the way they think. About half the time, someone's like, well, that's easy for you to say, Steven, but I've got ADHD, or I've got dyslexia, or I've got... Man, those are superpowers. Can we get over that? Those are superpowers. You can do crap that nobody else can. Okay? The game is about you learning to harness what those things are and do it anyway. So this is part of my way of doing that. Okay? And I know it might be weird, and you might be like, man, Steven's a freak. I don't care. It's for me, not you. Okay? And so I go in, and some of you guys have contributed to this from my Instagram stuff, okay? Some of you guys have put on some of your own things on here, but I go in, and I write down whatever it is that's negative that are going on in my head, and I confront it, okay? This has been like emotional periods for me actually confronting each one of these things, okay? And I beat the snot out of it, okay? And the whole goal I'm trying to get to is this right here: forgive and grow. And when I do that, forgive and grow. In fact, I think I want to make t-shirts with all this stuff on it, and then forgive and grow, put out like that. I think it'd be really cool to do that. But guys, entrepreneurs are a special breed. You guys are epic. We're epic. This is not normal stuff for anyone to go do. It can be a lonely game, okay? And the thing I want you to go figure out, a lot of times when I've been going through and I've been checking out your funnels, man, just had to put it down there. A lot of times, your funnel is good enough to launch. It's more of the psyche that you haven't dealt with yet. Right? And so I want you to go through, like I was saying, I know it was a long episode, and I apologize for it being a long episode, but I hope you see what I'm trying to say here. When I look at the students, I look at the people that I've done this for, and I look at the consulting, the clients I've done this with, it's a lot of people, guys. A lot of people I've done this with. It's usually, right, when it comes to the business side, right, you guys know, it's usually not an offer problem. It's usually like a storytelling and marketing problem. That's the reason the stuff isn't going down. But even then, one more step back, when it comes to the entrepreneur themselves, it's usually a psyche problem, okay? they haven't quite learned the mentality yet. They're still scared of getting hurt. They're still scared of getting burned, or they don't know quite how to deal with some kind of failure yet. They don't know what it means. If this fails, does that mean that I fail? Right? And they start comparing themselves to other successful stories. Fastest way to depression, right there. Okay? Right? They compare themselves to other successful stories rather than to themselves. And like, man, look at all the progress I've made. Look at wherever I've got. Like, that's the best way ever to get your self-worth, actually your personal value out of this game, okay? And that lets you sit all this stuff off to the side. And when you come up with a plan, be like, man, I'm scared of talking, right? Like I was. And you come up with a plan on how to deal with that. If you're not a fighter yet, right? If you're not willing to bat for your customers, they're not going to bat for your new industry, right? They're not. So are you willing to go to bat for them, right? You're willing to help them out. You're willing to, right, throw rocks at that red ocean while you create the blue one. If you're not willing to go to bat for them, they're not willing to go to bat for you, okay? Do you know how to do those kinds of things? Anyway, figure out what that is. And is it you? Is there some character flaw that you have? Don't beat yourself up. Just identify it, figure out a way around it, and figure out what your way is to get into state around that when you need to on call. And the way I do that is music, exercise in the morning. Funny enough, a lot what I eat, that helps or hurts. And then, man, I beat the snot out of this mannequin thing, and it's kind of fun. Anyways, guys, hopefully that's helpful to you. If you appreciate that, if you like that, if you can resonate with any of it, please comment, please share this. It really means a lot to me. Because I feel like we're in this kind of fragile place of entrepreneurship right now. And it's really kind of fun. It's neat to watch it, okay? Where there's going to be this explosion of wealth that happens for these people who figured it out and really just figured out that, oh my gosh, it's just a formula. But I'm scared that some people who very well could have participated in that are actually not going to, simply because of ways that they think, or they're like, oh my gosh, and they don't know how to deal with certain things. So anyways, I know I hit a lot of topics and it was full spectrum. I went all over the place on that, but hopefully you got the concept of what I'm talking about, right? You learn how to be introspective. You come up with a plan of how to come around the things that need to get a way around them. I'm not saying everything, right? But to learn how to come, that way you can execute your marketing. That way you can execute the business and actually get things off the ground. So anyways, guys, I appreciate it. I love you all. I appreciate it so much. And thank you so much for taking the time. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Oh yeah, wasn't that awesome? Hey, just real quick, a few months ago, Russell asked me to write a chapter for a secret project he was doing. And I had to write a chapter for a book, and this was the prompt. This was the letter I got from him. He said, hey Steven, let me ask you a quick question. You suddenly lose all your money, along with your name and your reputation, and only have your marketing know-how left. You have bills piled high, and people harassing you for money over the phone. Plus, you have a guaranteed roof over your head, a phone line, an internet connection, and a ClickFunnels account for only 1 month. You no longer have your big guru name, your following, your JV partners. Other than your vast marketing experience, you're an unknown newbie. What would you do from day 1 to day 30 to save yourself? Russell Brunson. Hey, if you want to see my answer and a bunch of other marketers that also had answered that in this amazing book and summit, just go to 30days.com/Steven. Again, you can see the entire summit, you can see the book, you can see what we wrote in there, and each of our detailed plans, just go to 30days.com/Steven. That's 30 as in 30, 30days.com/Steven, STEPHEN. Guys, enjoy.